Well, hello, glorious citizens of Liberia, and welcome back. As many of you know, I had some problem earlier with make my radio broadcast about Great Liberian Nation. This is because problem of Minister of Security. Minister of Security is not educate. You understand? So I put him on anthill. I send his whole family to labor camp, and then I have my guards shoot him. No, I am just kidding. I try to be nice and I just kill him. Anyway, welcome back to our wonderful country. As you can see, we have conquered the traitors in Sierra Leone, and hopefully never again will they bother our great nation. But as you can see, we have many pagan riots, many Sunni Islam riots as well, mostly Sunni Islam, and it seems that our people are yearning for theocracy. If we look over here, over 81% of our people want theocracy and to get rid of the great Namibia Maxentius and put some, I don't know, maybe Muslim, maybe pagan leader, and it worries me very much. Welcome back, guys. Sorry for the interesting intro, although I hope you guys enjoy it. I try to make them fun. As you can see, we have conquered Sierra Leone. We're continuing to build troops, and we're considering maybe even going to war again. As you can see, this area keeps rising up. There are rebels in this area, and our people are desperately in need of a new form of government. Not necessarily, but they want one. Whether or not we're actually going to give it to them is an entirely different proposal. And look at this, Kingdom of Hausaland was found and declared independence from Niger, which is pretty cool. We've got so many basically monarchist rebellions going on in the game, and I find that really interesting. And the monarchist countries, each one of them that pops up puts us higher on the scale of fairly decent countries because there's nothing there. Let's take a look at this battle here. Alright, we've got 11 men here. We should be able to finish these off pretty quickly. And I should almost, or could almost, take over Gambia, but right now I think I'm much more concerned with my government. And I'm actually going to take a look over here and try to increase things a little bit. I'm actually going to increase our propaganda a little bit here. And I'm also going to increase taxation levels, so people are going to be pissed, let's be honest. But if things get extra complex or difficult, then I will not hesitate to go ahead and possibly create the Great Liberian Theocracy. We will have to see. It's going to be interesting, and I'm going to have to look specifically at what religion our nation mostly accepts. And I think now that we've taken over a lot of Western Africa, it's no longer pagan. It's actually Islam. So we may actually have to create an Islamic state, or maybe a pagan state. I really am not sure, and that's where I am a little concerned. Glorious. Conakry builds another light cavalry. Always doing beautiful things here. But I actually want them to focus on something else instead of just constantly focusing on warfare. Let's focus on engineers. Another form of warfare, but a more interesting one, of course. I'm actually letting our economy run down a little bit, but we're actually doing fine. Now, let's take a look at this. These rebels should be cleared up, and I want to take a look at basically our chance for a switch. %13 Protestant. No, I mean, that's why we cannot allow this. We cannot allow a religious takeover, because there's just like the highest percentage of Protestant, the rest are a bunch of different pagan countries or religions, excuse me, and I just don't know if they could run the country. It's going to be a really tough decision to make, and I think I would rather go to Gambia and take over them before I even consider that. Or maybe we can even go over here to Mali and put an end to this rebellion Liberian style. You know, really liberate the people, as it were. I mean, it's not like they're really doing much here anyway, except constantly fighting. Maybe we'd be actually doing the people there a service. But that's for another day. And there we go. We stopped the anarchy. And, of course, we still have infantry being created. I am going to move to Gambia. And I think we're going to go ahead and go to war with them. And I hope this time we don't suddenly have a rebellion. So I'm not going to send our whole army over there. I'm just going to send a few units. And, of course, this might not really make the people too happy with us. In fact, let's take a look here. The dictatorship is just not liked. And obviously, the current tax system is not helping. But we're going to go ahead and just try to get on these borders with two separate armies and see what happens. If it doesn't look good, we're not going to attack. If it does, maybe we can go ahead and add more to Great Liberia. Who knows? And for now, we will end our turn. Also got a lot of troops here. Move them by road. Our glorious Liberian roads actually are not just giant piles of cow manure. They are actually roads now. Well, kind of. Some of them are unpaved, but most of them are doing pretty well. I've also started creating a lot of buildings here. We're building power stations so that our country has actual power. And in fact, if you look over here, our shipping capacity is pretty good too. And before, it was absolutely terrible. Here we go. Let's hope we can end these riots. We don't need more revolts happening in this area, but maybe it's time to implement Sunni Islam. Who knows? Okay, so far the people are remaining calm and peaceful. This is good. I want to take a look here at the actual army that Gambia's fielding. I'm pretty sure we could kick their ass. Not quickly, but we could definitely beat them. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to move another troop over here. Move them by road, and we would consider our options. Obviously, we can always use new territory for our glorious people to live on. And I think this may not be such a bad idea. Alright, there we go. So Mali has beaten back some rebels. This might be a perfect time to attack them. And as you can see, they have constant religious problems, infighting with their religions. So maybe it's not the greatest land to take. I think Gambia is a lot more, I guess, modernized, you could say. So that's one thing. And there we go. The Azawadi Kingdom. Another kingdom breaking away. And this is actually a kingdom breaking away from a smaller kingdom that broke away from another kingdom. So that's pretty interesting. Pagan population riots in Guinea and Sunni Islam population riots elsewhere. And this is troubling. Let's take a look here at Casablanca. So it is Liberian controlled. So they're pagan here. Sunni Islam here. Sunni Islam here. I don't know, my friends. Maybe it is time to finally switch over. Could I possibly be saying that? Yes, I am. But we're also going to make another huge switch, guys, and that's going to be to finish our conquests of this damned Senegal. And actually, sorry, I thought this was Gambia. This is Senegal. We've already taken over Gambia. Let's go ahead and hit them with everything we've got, and I hope we don't get trapped in a protracted war. I hope we can finish these guys off really hard and really quickly, and I think we can. We're going to order cavalry charges. We will keep at least one infantry in this location because currently there is some Islamic population rioting. In fact, I'm going to move this infantryman over here, move the rest of these guys into battle as well by road. At this point, we have an army that really is working well. We unlocked removable or exchangeable parts before, so we have better weapons, etc., and that's just awesome news. So let's go ahead, we'll move this guy over here, and let's end the turn. The glorious war has begun, my friends. And remember, in a dictatorship, it is important to always have war. You must always have another enemy outside. If you don't have that enemy, well, what's the point, really? You've always got to have an enemy in war. In this case, especially if you have a dictatorship, we have to have an external enemy that the people hate and are willing to fight against. And right now, that is going to be this area here. And look at that. Civil disobedience has ended in both areas. And we also built a power station in Monrovia and a dockyard in Bissau. And that makes me really happy because I want to be able to have an area where we can actually trade out of. And I think that's going to work really well. Let's see what we can do at Bathurst. Oh, maybe we can make a mill. I think it's about time. Or some metalworks even. Let's work on making a mill. Why not? Power station in Conakry. And see if we have anything else being built. Like I said, I want to constantly be building things here. We're still working on the low rail density, but that's going to take a while. What about a university? Why not? Monrovia is looking great, actually. It's time to get some education into these young minds. They must know how to battle properly and kill the enemy at all times. Here we go. So far, the enemy has no defenses, really. I'm going to actually move, cancel, and I'm going to go ahead and move him into Cayor right away. Move these guys into Cayor too, and we'll keep a few guys back just to watch the rebels, make sure nothing crazy happens here. But as you can see, just having a war really calmed down tensions in the country. We will not have another disgusting defeat by these bastards. We will not retreat. This time, this country belongs to us, my friends. Belongs to Liberia. Okay, Senegal has changed. Well, it's a bit late, but as you can see, we do have some unrest in Gambia, so I'm going to move by road now that we have roads, which is awesome, just to make sure that that stays just civil unrest and nothing more serious. Now let us finish off these rebels for once and for all. Well, I guess they're not really rebels, so if they peaceably surrender, I promise not to torture them before shooting them. Okay, here we go, into Cayor again. Our dictator's not a very forgiving one, but there we go, a victory, another glorious victory for our people, and another bit of land for the democratic, quote-unquote, Liberian Republic. Of course, we are a dictatorship, but let's not tell anybody about that. And this really opens up our options. The issue is, what happens if we do have a theologic coup? Are all these troops going to fight against us? I just don't know, guys. But maybe we actually need to try it out. And there we go. We've annexed the territory, and now our economy is actually boosting. We're actually making money. I think we can actually get rid of a few of the places that are building infantry. And I think we're building infantry over here still. So let's see if we can get rid of that. Yeah. Sorry, guys. We don't need you. At least not now. But hopefully later.